Hello, and welcome to New River Community College. If you only take one thing away from this orientation, remember to check your email regularly. Automatically download messages on your phone or get it forwarded to your regular email. Just check it. Also check Blackboard regularly. You'll learn more about what Blackboard is later, but for now, know that you can access both email and Blackboard with your username and password to log onto my accounts from the NRCC website. Now, I was going to tell a funny story that involved me not checking my email, but there aren't any. Check your email regularly. Don't miss out on activities, opportunities, or important correspondence from your professors.
Since you can still add and drop courses during the first week of the semester, you might be tempted to skip those first few days and assume that they are optional. But that would be a big mistake. Students who attend classes from the first day are more likely to pass a class than those who don't. Plus, you've paid for it, so you should soak up every ounce of learning you can. Show up for that first class and don't miss anything. Even in online classes, go ahead and log into Blackboard and get started on the first possible day. You won't regret it in the long run.
Now I know it sounds cheesy, but once you've shown up to class, just make friends. Sure, it'll make your college experience a little more enjoyable, but it's also strategic. If you've got a group of friends, you can support each other when you need help with studying or notes or really anything else during the semester. Many hands make light work. So make a friend, create a study group, or join a club. Now it may be difficult for you to connect with other people, but the key here is common ground. Follow the 100% rule. You'll always have something in common with another person. It may be simply that both of you brush your teeth every morning. Whatever that common ground is, just go 100%. Hey man, I brush my teeth too, but I'm a Colgate guy. How about you? Bottom line is, don't be a loner.
It's important to know how to relate to your professors. We've got some tips for you.
Your professors are on your side, but you have to take the initiative to talk to them if you have a problem.
Learn your professors' names and take advantage of their office hours.
Treat your professor with respect. Let them know when you have to miss class and why. Come to class on time and put your cell phone away.
Be pretty formal when you email your professors. Use their name and title and watch your spelling and grammar. They'll appreciate it.
If you get an email about your performance in class, talk to your professor ASAP.
If you enjoy a course, let your professor know. They'll remember you and they can write great reference letters for you in the future.
I am an English professor, so as you can imagine, I love to read and write. But the most influential professor I had as an undergraduate was my geology professor. On the first day of the class, he told us that education is not a spectator sport. I pass this wisdom on to you as a reminder that learning is more than simply looking at your professor as though she is an image on your smartphone. Keep your mind open to subjects and concepts that challenge what you think you know and believe. Embrace transformation.
I'm the Dean of Business and Technologies, but I'm also a student and a military veteran. So it would be an understatement to say that I value discipline. Discipline begins with good short and long-term planning. First, set an educational goal for yourself that is exciting enough to keep you motivated, but also realistic. In other words, if you are 5 feet tall, you may not want to set a goal of being an NBA player. Second, figure out the steps you need to take in order to reach your goal, and then be realistic about how much you can get done in any one setting. That means doing a little bit of work every single day. Creating a daily routine in which you study at the same time every day works great for me. But even if you can't do this, my advice is to find some way to chunk your work into manageable pieces and also to keep your eye on your big goal when things get difficult.
College is where students really find themselves, who they are, who they want to be, where they want to go, and what they have to say. So, college is the place you should find your own voice, speaking for you in all of your work. What do I mean by that last statement? It's very simple. When you write, make sure you are the one talking. Do not plagiarize, cheat, illegally borrow, or however you may term it, anyone else's words to attempt to pass them on as yours. Learn to say what you want to say, and then learn how to use others' words to support your arguments. Just remember to cite them appropriately. If you need help figuring out how to do this, Ask your instructor or go to the tutoring center.
People will say that there are no dumb questions, but I think we can agree that there are some questions that are smarter than others. Whether you're confused about college policies, financial aid, registration, or questions in class, be prepared to ask smart questions. That means pointing out the specific areas you don't understand. Instead of saying, "I don't get it," be prepared to explain what it is you find confusing or where in the lecture or information you got confused. This will help the person trying to answer you, and you'll get a much more helpful answer. It's also a great way to show your instructors that you're paying attention, you care about what you're learning and what they're teaching.
Imagine for a moment you walk into a fast food restaurant and purchase 3 burgers, but only eat 1. Sounds absurd, but it's what you're doing when you don't take full advantage of the resources the school has to offer. Resources fully paid for by you. We have 2 tutoring centers in New River. One is on the main campus, the other is on the 2nd floor of the mall site. And we know college can be confusing or even stressful at times, which is why we are fully prepared to assist you in most, if not all of your classes.
Online classes are great because they're convenient and they save gas money. But they have unique challenges. You need a reliable internet connection, and you need to learn how to use Blackboard, which is New River's learning management system. And as you might have heard, you need to log into Blackboard and check your email every day. Online instructors communicate with students through emails and Blackboard announcements. So if you don't check them, you miss out. You also need to be pretty good at managing your time. Most online courses have due dates, and you need to be aware of those. No one's going to remind you. That's on you. But most of all, you need to realize that if you get confused, behind, or overwhelmed, there are people here at New River who care about you and care about your success. We can help. So don't be afraid to send an email, make a phone call, or ask questions.
In order to continue eligibility for financial aid, students have to be making satisfactory academic progress, also known as SAP. And that doesn't mean you just have to make good grades. Most students don't realize that receiving a grade of F, U, or even W for withdrawing from a class can cause students to lose financial aid eligibility. Taking classes outside your major or changing majors can also have a negative impact. Students should always check with the financial aid office first before withdrawing from a class or making major changes to ensure it won't impact them negatively. The entire satisfactory academic progress policy is on our website. Don't hesitate to contact our office if you need any help at all.
I'm a math professor now, but that doesn't mean I didn't have challenges in college. My first year in college was my most important year because what I learned set the pace for the rest of my academic career. I learned how to study, develop a stronger work ethic, prepare myself for testing, as well as manage my time more efficiently. My first year in college was a struggle, and there were several moments during that year that I thought I may have made a mistake and perhaps college wasn't for me. Now, the details of my academic struggles aren't as important as the fact that I learned to overcome the obstacles that were preventing me from being a successful student. Additionally, by having to deal with so many struggles so early in my academic career, it ultimately became a blessing that I was able to learn so much so early because I was able to apply that knowledge not only to my academic career but also to my career as a math professor today. Lots of very successful people had trouble during their first year of college. Failing a quiz or a paper or even a course isn't a sign that you don't belong in college. It is a sign that you might need to change your study habits or generally work a little harder. If you find yourself struggling in your classes, just remember that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them. But most importantly, know that you're not alone. Also keep in mind that your instructors want you to succeed, so when you find yourself struggling for whatever reason, don't be afraid to seek help from your instructors. We are here to help.
Life is about contribution. So the question that follows is, what do you want your legacy to be? The late Dr. Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, said, begin with the end in mind. If you think about that, while you can't know the end of your journey, you do have control of how you begin your journey here at New River. And in the end, preparation will meet opportunity. I wish you the very best in your studies here at New River Community College, and I encourage you to begin your journey here with the end in mind. Let me add that as you take charge of your student experience, you will also be influencing the experience of your fellow students. Oh, please check your email.